This last question is a little different. This is about the future of humanity. So, what is your perception of where our human form is going to be in the next evolution?
Yeah, which is a much larger question also, very big question also. But let me tell you something very briefly. Has man, of course, woman is included in that.
Yes, women need to be included.
Is included, man is included, so there is no question about that. Has man exploited all the potentials which are present in him? He has not. He is not even aware of the type of potentials which are present in him. Man today is a rational being. He is a product of Platonic thinking, a man of reason. Man of pure reason in Plato is occupying an extremely high place. Now that pure reason has been brought down by science to empirical rationalism. See, which is already a downfall, I will say. Plato thinks in terms of pure reason, and that is sufficient for it to happen. Now, what science has done, it has brought down that idea of pure reason to empirical rationalism.
Right.
Unless I can test that thing in my laboratory, do experiments, predict certain thing of that thing, I am not going to accept anything.
Right.
That is the empirical rationalism. Now, empirical rationalism has brought out a certain positivism in life. Okay, that is merit on a practical level. But in terms of its gain of faculties, it has really brought down Plato further down. See. Yes. Now, in verse, what I am saying is, you have to first rise to pure reason. Man as a mental being, Manomaya Purusha, he has to rise to the level of mental being. Full capacities, we are not exploited full capacities of man at all. You see, man gets many times discernment without knowing it. Whether I should do this or I should do that, he is not going to argue, but suddenly he feels that this must be done and not this one. Where from that discernment comes, he is not going to question, but that faculty is present in man. Even a cow knows when she is grazing in the farm, she avoids the poison weeds and takes only crop. That discernment is present in that animal also altogether. Same thing in man also, the discernment, the faculty, dakshina, that is what the Vedic rishis say, daksha, you are careful, accept this or don't accept that thing. A certain situation is present to you, and then you are not rationalizing it, you are analyzing it, you are not putting tick marks in the boxes, this, therefore I this. It's not that. Suddenly something happens to you and you accept that sort of a thing, you see. Same thing, I mean, when, to give a general example, when a boy and girl fall in love, they are not going to tick mark there. There is something in them which happens and finished, matter is over. They are not going to say yes, 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 and therefore we will get together. It is not that, you see. It doesn't happen. That discernment, that certain faculty is there, it is to be properly cultivated and brought. Now, the pitfalls of the discernment have to be avoided also, because you see, you should not be your prejudiced judgment. You have to see that you don't have prejudices, you don't have your pre-opinions of those things, and you have to prepare yourself. So, man has to prepare for that sort of a thing. You have ambition, therefore I like this, then you are spoiling the discernment, you see.
Here I am going to just ask one question, is that from some of the readings that I have done, I am told that it's our intuition where you say, you know, should I do this or this? There's something, a feeling that no, I'll choose this, and it's all an amalgamation of our experiences, which is our intuition that makes us choose something.
I am coming to intuition,
Yes, is that what you were talking about?
Well, I am coming to intuition. I am talking first now, there are 4 layers beyond mental thinking, beyond reason. The first layer is discernment. First layer is discernment. That is what I am trying to tell you, discernment. Now, discernment can get affected by your personality, by your association. He is my friend, therefore I have more favor for him. You have lost the discernment. You see that way. That should not happen. Means a certain type of a purification within you is required to go by discernment. Now, after discernment, the faculty which is there in man, which we have not really seen, exploited at all, is of intuition. Intuition. You are doing something, you are writing something, you are writing work or something, something suddenly flashes in you and you get something different, and your whole course of development changes with that totally different turn. Einstein did not rationalize his theory and give relativity. Some sort of an intuition flashed somewhere in his consciousness, and he was alert enough to see that intuition and bring it in a mathematical form. You see. So that sort of a preparedness on your side when the intuition comes to apply it is important. We have not developed the proper intuition at all. You see. After intuition, the higher faculty is inspiration. Suddenly you get inspiration from somewhere, some sources like that. You see. And how the poet starts writing poetry, or a musician starts composing things, or a painter does this painting. Some sort of an inspiration comes without thinking. It's not that by thinking you are doing the sort of a thing. Something flashes, something happens. Your instrument, your mechanism is such that it drives you on that direction. You see, beyond intuition, beyond inspiration, you have got first discernment, then you have got intuition, then you got inspiration, is revelation. A person who is absolutely ready, to him the truth is revealed, the reality is revealed. He is not analyzing and getting it, it's sort of shown to him, revealed. That is what we got revelation means, that you see. Now these are all the faculties which are in the domain of a mental being, of a manomaya purusha. We have not really systematically developed any of these faculties and put them into operation. None of them have done. You see, well, we carry on our day. We'll have our pizza today. We'll have that thing tomorrow. It goes on. Life goes on like that. You see, but the development of inner faculties of intuition. In fact, the Vedic rishis speak of these faculties as dakshina, discernment, igada, intuition, saraswati, inspiration, brahati as revelation. Brahati, she at once shows you the doors of truth and knowledge. Knowledge suddenly comes. Where from? How did the Vedic rishis got that knowledge? They say that there is somebody within you who is immortal. Somebody is already sitting within you who is immortal. You are a mortal creature, all right, but there is somebody sitting within you who is immortal. Where from that knowledge has come to him? Revelation. He has done his own tapasya, his own yoga, his own preparation to receive that knowledge, and that knowledge has entered into him. And he said, there is the immortal in the mortal. The Rishi speaks of that thing. And then that immortal, that Agni, that little Vishnu who is sitting within us, he is taking your life forward properly. Now that revelation comes as a part of your spiritual development, spiritual growth, conscious effort in that direction. It needs tapasya, it needs yoga sadhana, it needs preparation, and it does not come just like that, you see. But then it is in that direction man has to move forward. Still, there is a beyond, to the beyond. There is a beyond, to the beyond also. Yes, beyond that thing. The beyond is, there is the intrinsic faculty of knowledge, intrinsic existence of truth, intrinsic existence of consciousness force, of joy, of bliss, what the Vedic rishis call, what the Upanishadic rishis call, Satchitananda, Satyam, Mrutam. Vedic rishis call it Satyam, Mrutam, Brahat, Satyam, truth, Mrutam, right, Brahat, vast. They speak of that thing. Now, it is into that domain we have to enter after developing these four faculties, you see, after developing these four faculties. These four faculties is what should be first achieved by us as post-human destinies. Our human destiny is a mental destiny of a reasoning mind, of a rational creature. But the post-rational creature should have these four faculties first, Ida, Saraswati, Mahi, Brahati, all those things. After acquiring those faculties, you have to enter into yet higher domain where knowledge is by itself knowledge. You are not deriving from something. Knowledge, bliss, power, love, joy, beauty, truth, they are self-existent and they have to come into your operation, into your creation, into your existence. That's the whole thrust, you see. So I will rather say, is humanity willing to move through these steps? I will go a step further and say that humanity should do. There is a, but even if humanity fails to do it, does not apply itself towards it, falls short of its resources and its attempts and its efforts, I will say that is not the end of the story which is being written by the divine. The divine story does not end with the perfection and creation of man. The divine creation is to bring out somebody who is superior to man, of Gnostic quality, of intrinsic knowledge on that thing. That is in the very scheme of evolution. The divine story is built into that way. It has done, you have got the vital mental being, you have got the physical being, you have got the vital being, you have got the mental being, you have got the spiritual being, but man does not, this evolution does not stop with that. Consciousness does not stop its growth with that. The divine has arranged many further ranges beyond that, and you have to. So I will say that the story of evolution is now in fact moving from these fourfold aspects of post-human destinies into yet wider domain of Satyam, Mrutam, Brahat, or what you want to call it. They have to come, and that is the role which is being played by Savitri while she is bringing down Krishna and Kali into this creation. That is the whole purpose of the thing, you see. So now whether humanity is ready or not, I will say it's immaterial. I wouldn't care. Humanity, there is a little urge here, something is happening here, all right, let it be satisfied also with that. But the divine purpose, divine intention in this creation is the fulfillment of divine purpose of bringing those higher faculties into manifestation here. And towards that, the divine work is going on, whether man is participating in it or not, whether nature is participating in it or not. Consciously, unconsciously, you are moving in that direction, but the divine work is constantly going, the yoga of the divine is constantly being pursued, and that is bound to happen tomorrow. It is inevitable. The stage of evolution is not going to stop with the appearance of the mental being, Manomaya Purusha. There is a Vijnanama Purusha, he has to appear here, Vijnana. Man of knowledge who knows things intrinsically by identification, he knows things, he has to appear on the scene. That is the inevitability in the process of evolution. It has to happen. Once the Vijnanama Purusha comes, then the Anandamaya Purusha can come, then Saundaryamaya Purusha can come. See, like that, now many facets can appear here, you see. And then you will stop talking of mortality or immortality. That's not the purpose at all. The whole idea is of a higher manifestation entering into the creation here. A stage has arrived through the long course of nature's labor that we have come to the mental level. You are able to at least think of post-human destinies. There are individuals here and there who are still trying something more than that, and therefore that is support. Now the yoga of the divine is to see that higher powers start entering into this creation. For those things to happen, symbolically, what is necessary is Satyavan must die. Symbolically, he must die to the past and let those things start coming appearing here, you see.
So do you think, I'm sorry, do you think that with the other technological development like the connected human and all these devices that are being created or that are being worked on, the technologies, to where all the easier tasks, the routine tasks are being done, is that also by divine or a spiritual?
No, no. You see, divine has, in the cosmic play, in the present play, there are certain faculties in operation. There are certain faculties in operation. Now, the mental faculties are there, rationalism is there, science is there, they are all mental faculties. Now, divine will not stop the mental faculties operating in their own full strength, but that is not the sole purpose of it. That is not the sole purpose. You see, you are a physical body, it does not mean that you should live with these physical elements all the while. You should become different, glorious, beautiful, kindle fire, it should be like that. Each cell should be a fiery cell of the divine presence there. So that is the divine intention. That does not mean that you should stop what you are doing here. If you are ill, certainly go and take medicines. See, it does not mean that. But basically, the faculties which have come into operation, a painter is allowed to do the painting, a musician is allowed to play his music, a scientist is allowed to develop his scientific skill. They are important, necessary, because these are the faculties which have come into operation in the dynamics of life here, and they must grow in their full potential. They must grow, they must exploit themselves to what extent they can go. That does not mean that that is the end of the story. The other things have to come and enter to that thing, you see. And if you are able to open yourself to that, you suddenly see that what am I doing? My music is of a different quality now there. My harmony is of a, it's not the octave that I am singing, but maybe it is some other 100 notes are coming sharply together, you see. I am singing on a harp with 100 strings, 100 different notes. See, those possibilities can open out, and they do open out. They do open up. That is the whole purpose of creative enlargement of the spirit in manifestation. It allows things to happen. I am not condemning what is being done, because your potentialities have to, you are striving to do your 100-meter race from 10 to 9.8. Yes, certainly do it. But then if you become a divine 100-meter runner, perhaps you do it in a different manner. You may be instantaneously at this place or at that place.
Yes.
Instantaneously. There is no question of time now here of, you see. If you are able to, then you appear here still and you are appear there. Suddenly you are simultaneously present everywhere there. So it is a question of race there. So those are the different possibilities which can open out, you see, open out. I will give a very crude example. Until now, it would not have been possible at all, but now things have opened out. Have we ever given a thought to what kind of game you should play in free space?
No.
Free space has opened out to you. Free space has opened out to you. You had never given a thought, what, can I play volleyball there? I can't play. Why can I play basketball or tennis? I can't. But then what kind of games I will introduce there, invent there? That is the creative aspect which has come out in front of you, and you are not attended to it.
Right.
The space is there now, and you are not even thinking of it, you see.
Okay. Anything else?
So basically, I mean, the whole idea is of a very complex nature. I will just make one more small remark. All right, you are thinking of manifestation in the divine, in this world, in a mortal world. The possibility, the potentiality, the capabilities of divine working in this creation, and let us assume that they are going to happen here, because that is built into the scheme of things. That is built into the scheme of things. So the earth becomes now a place center for the divine to work out his own ideas. The way he wants to do this or do that, he has got the full power and capacity and capability now to work them out here in this creation. All right. Earth has glorified herself by offering herself to the divine, and things are happening on the earth. Is that the end of the creation? Is that the end of the story? Is that what is ultimately going to be? If it was so, then what are these millions and millions and millions of stars there for in the sky, the universes, the galaxies, what are they there for?
Right.
I mean, what are they there for, you see? I mean, those questions start opening out then. Earth has been created by the divine for a certain purpose so that the divine potentials can manifest here. Now that becomes the nucleating point of activities in other places of the universe. If this is already fulfilled, then you start touching this part, that part, that
Right.
part of you. Now,
Exactly.
it is not that you are going to duplicate things which are here on the earth elsewhere, because there is no joy in that, in duplicating. Based on the faculties which I come here, is something newly can be created here, something newly can be created here. Can moon has its own personality to express its own manner.
Right.
It's not that you take life here and then build up there. It's not that. Moon has its own character, sun has its own character, the planets have their own character, the galaxies have their own character, the entire physical object in the universe, each individual has its own character, and it is that character which must come out fully in the expression of its possibilities of truth in it, and those things start opening out when things are happening here on earth. Earth has created that focus, has created a center of activity, has nucleated. Now you can germinate that thing and spread in wherever you like, you see. So the divine has a very massive plan, see, and his operation, his working is very systematic. Let me first concentrate at a given place, and then things will happen here, you see. He has his own scheme of operation. His drama is a vast drama, and each act is linked up in a very unique way with other acts, you see, that we see.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Well,
Deshpande. I hope you enjoyed and you learned a lot from this conversation, as I have learned a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all that, you see, for giving me the opportunity and talking to you.